Hello, this is Kevlar. Today I'm going to test the SKIKK 15MD7Y laptop. I'm going to run a few benchmark tests to see the speed of the CPU and GPU, and also I'm going to check the temperature of the laptop and the power consumption. First, let's talk about the testing environment. The laptop has a freshly installed Microsoft Windows 10 Pro with all the drivers installed, and of course everything is updated. Only the benchmarking software is installed and nothing runs on the background. As you can see, the back of the laptop is raised, so it will have a better ventilation. After the test, I will wait until it cools down. The laptop has three modes: Office, Gaming and Turbo. I'm going to compare the speed of the GPU and CPU, the temperature and the power consumption in those three modes. Let's start with Cinebench. As I have told, I test the system in three modes. The first mode is to test the minimum performance, so the laptop is quiet and uses small amount of energy. I call this the Office mode, which is called Balanced by the manufacturer, and the Windows 10 Power mode is Best Battery Life. The next mode is what I would call the Gaming mode. This is called Enthusiast by the laptop manufacturer, and the Windows 10 Power mode is Best Performance mode. The third mode is what I would call the Turbo mode, which is called Overboost by the manufacturer, and the Windows 10 Power mode is also Best Performance. So let's see the Cinebench results in Office mode. As you can see, in multi-core mode the CPU has 4469 points, and in single-core mode it has 1199 points. In the other two CPU ID windows you can see more information about the CPU, which was collected during the test. The measured energy usage during the test is 50 watts with single-core and 55 watts with multi-core, and the max temperature is 35 Celsius on the keyboard and 37 Celsius in the max of the body of the laptop above the keyboard in the middle. Let's see the results when the laptop is in gaming mode, which is called Enthusiast by the manufacturer. The battery mode is in max performance mode. The multi-core points are much higher, it is 11,566 points. The single core is 1,437 points, which is slightly higher than in Office mode. Let's see the energy usage. With single core it is 65 watts and multi-core it is 95 watts. On the keyboard I measured 34 to 36 Celsius, and the hottest part of the laptop was 44 Celsius, which was on the middle above the keyboard. Let's see the results in Turbo mode, which is called Overboost by the manufacturer. The battery is in max performance. Looking at the points, the multi-core performance is just a little bit higher with 12,202 points, and the single-core performance basically the same with 1,430 points. Let's see the energy usage. With single core it is the same 65 watts, but multi-core it is raised to 110 watts. On the keyboard I measured 35 to 38 Celsius, and the hottest part of the laptop was 44 Celsius, which was on the middle above the keyboard. Let's see another scenario where I unplug the laptop from the power source, so it is using only the battery as a power source. As you can see, the single core performance is basically the same with 1400 points, and the multi-core performance is 8828 points, which is double than in Office mode, but about 50% lower than in Turbo. The temperature is 35 to 37 degrees Celsius. Let's continue with the Cinebench summary. On the top row you can see the different modes. The Office max battery means the lowest performance, while this is the most quiet and has the lowest energy consumption. The next two modes can be used for gaming. In the laptop it is called Enthusiast and Overboost mode. The battery mode in Windows 10 is on max performance. As you can see, there aren't much performance difference between the two modes. The last mode of the row shows the maximum performance on battery only. In the next row are the performance of the CPU when testing the single or multi-core performance. The next row shows the Cinebench points in different modes. The row below shows the maximum temperature on the keyboard in Celsius. The row below shows the maximum temperature on the laptop in Celsius. And the hottest point of the laptop is in the middle, above the keyboard. The next row shows the power consumption of the laptop at the power adapter. The last row shows the power consumption of the CPU only. I added two more data points. I measured the performance of the laptop if it is in Office mode and the Windows 10 battery mode is in Balanced or in Max Performance mode. And that is the performance of the laptop with Cinebench. Keep in mind that Cinebench tests only the CPU. In the next section, let's test the laptop with the Passmark software and compare it to the others. I tested the laptop with the Passmark software. Unfortunately, I don't have the screenshots, so let's jump to the summary of the results. Here is the summary of the results in three different modes. As you can see, there is not much difference between the gaming and turbo mode, only the CPU is a little bit faster. The great thing about Passmark is that it has a huge list of benchmarked CPUs and GPUs, so you can compare yours. Let's go to its website and check how my configuration is compared to others. To compare my CPU to the others, go to cpubenchmark.net, then in the CPU Benchmarks tab, choose New Laptop. That will compare all the relatively new laptop CPUs. My CPU is an AMD Ryzen 9 5900HX, so search for it in the list. I can find it on quite top of the list, which means that it is a quite fast processor. The others are just a little bit faster. Notice that I measured a slightly higher performance than you can see on the website. The reason is that on the website the points are the average of all the measured performance of the CPU. So that is an excellent website to compare the CPUs. Now let's continue with the video card. On the website, choose Video Card Benchmark, then choose High End. This list has the laptop and desktop video cards mixed, so we have to go down the list to find mine, which is NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070. If we check the list, we might think that there are many video cards which are faster, but actually most of the cards in the list are desktop GPUs. If mobile or laptop is written in the name of the GPU, then it is for laptops. As you can see, there aren't many laptop GPUs, which is much faster than the 3070. The points I got on my laptop is slightly higher, because the points on the website is an average of the tested GPUs. This website is an excellent place to compare the video cards. Now let's continue with the Geekbench software. I don't have the screenshots of the Geekbench 5 software, so let's jump to the summary. Here you can see the results. In office mode I set the laptop and Windows 10 battery mode to the lowest performance to test the laptop when it's the most quiet and consuming the least amount of power, and in gaming and turbo mode I tested the laptop in its peak performance. As you can see, there isn't much difference between the gaming and turbo mode. So after the Geekbench results, let's continue with the 3DMARK software. Let's start with the screenshots and then I show the summary. This first screenshot shows the maximum performance when the laptop is running on battery. Those are the results when the laptop is in AC power, its mode is balanced and the Windows 10 battery mode is maximum battery. This is when the laptop is running on AC power, it is in gaming mode, which is called Enthusiast by the manufacturer, and Windows 10 power mode is maximum performance. This is when the laptop is running on AC power, it is in turbo mode, which is called overboost by the manufacturer, and the Windows 10 power mode is maximum performance. Let's see the 3DMARK summary. The results are the expected when running the laptop on the charger. The remarkable result is when the laptop is running on battery. Seems that the laptop preferred to limit the GPU in this mode, while the CPU is running on almost full speed. I am not sure that the performance reduction is the same when 3D game is played on the laptop, because my guess would be if the CPU is not used much, then the laptop can increase the performance of the GPU. So after the 3DMARK results, let's see the PCMARK results. Let's start with the screenshots, then I show the summary. This first screenshot shows the maximum performance when the laptop is running on battery. Those are the results when the laptop is on AC power, its mode is balanced, and the Windows 10 battery mode is maximum battery. This is when the laptop is running on AC power, it is in gaming mode, which is called Enthusiast by the manufacturer, and the Windows 10 power mode is maximum performance. This is when the laptop is running on AC power, it is in turbo mode, which is called overboost by the manufacturer, and the Windows 10 power mode is maximum performance. Here are the summary of the results. The results are in line with the other benchmarking softwares, so there are no outliers here. PCMARK uses mostly the CPU, so that is the reason that there are not much difference between the modes on AC power. Those were the benchmarking softwares that I ran and tested on the laptop, but I also tested the power consumption of the laptop in different modes, so let's talk about that. Those are the measured maximum power usage by the laptop when both the CPU and GPU is working at peak performance. I made this test with the CryptoMiner software, which used the CPU and both GPUs at the same time at full speed. The max performance of the charger is exactly 210 watts, which also the max power usage of the laptop. The max temperature I measured was 51 Celsius on the bottom of the laptop during this test and 49 Celsius on the keyboard. So this is almost the end of the video. Those were the benchmarking softwares I used to test the laptop. If you have any questions about the laptop or the softwares I used, let me know in the comment section below. If you found that video useful, informative and added value to you, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Thank you for watching.